Some people look calm on the outside, but their mind never really sits down. They scan rooms without realizing it. They notice tone changes faster than words. They remember tiny details others forget, not because they're paranoid, but because at some point in life paying attention was survival. When someone has gone through too much, their brain stops treating the world as predictable. The average person assumes tomorrow will feel similar to today. But for them, life has proven that stability can disappear overnight. So their mind adapts. Psychologists call this hypervigilance, a nervous system trained to stay alert even when there's no immediate danger. They don't relax easily. Silence doesn't always feel peaceful. Sometimes it feels suspicious. Their brain learned that problems often arrived quietly. You might notice they struggle to fully enjoy good moments. It's not negativity, it's anticipation. Their mind automatically asks, "What's about to go wrong?" Because in the past, good moments were often followed by loss, conflict, or pain. So happiness feels temporary, almost fragile. That's why people who've endured a lot often keep emotional backups. They don't just have Plan B, they have Plan C, D, and emotional escape routes. They prepare conversations in their head before they happen. They rehearse arguments they hope never occur. It's not overthinking, it's pre-surviving. Another common change is emotional control. Many of them rarely overreact in crises. While others panic, they become strangely calm. This is because their brain has practiced emergency mode so often that chaos feels familiar. Their nervous system recognizes crisis like an old environment. Ironically, they may struggle more with ordinary days than disasters. Peace feels unfamiliar. Routine feels unnatural. Their body doesn't know where to place all that stored alertness when nothing is wrong. So they stay busy, distracted, or tired. You'll also notice they apologize a lot, even when nothing is their fault. People who've experienced repeated conflict often learned that keeping peace mattered more than being right. Their brain associates disagreement with danger, not discussion, so they instinctively smooth situations before tension grows. But there's another side. They can read people exceptionally well. Micro-expressions, tone shifts, pauses in speech, they catch patterns others miss. When you've spent years predicting emotional weather, you develop an internal radar. It's not magic, it's pattern recognition trained by experience. Trust becomes complicated too. They don't trust slowly because they're cold. They trust slowly because their memory remembers consequences faster than promises. Words mean less than consistency. They watch behavior over time, quietly collecting evidence before opening up. And when they finally do trust you, it's deep, not casual. Because for them, vulnerability is not sharing opinions. It's lowering defenses built over years. You might also notice their humor. Often darker, sharper, sometimes surprisingly honest. Humor becomes a pressure valve. The brain converts pain into something manageable. Laughing at difficulty is sometimes the only way to reduce its weight without denying it. They also value independence intensely. Relying on others once felt risky, so self-reliance became safety. They learn skills quickly, handle problems alone, and avoid asking for help, not because they don't need support, but because needing someone once hurt them. Yet this independence can feel lonely. They want connection, but struggle with dependence. So they exist in a paradox, craving closeness while maintaining escape routes. Emotionally, they often feel older than their age. Difficult experiences accelerate psychological development. While others were learning preferences, they were learning endurance. They matured in areas like responsibility and empathy, but sometimes missed simpler phases of life. That's why they can seem wise and tired at the same time. Memory also works differently. The brain prioritizes emotionally intense events, so their past feels vivid. Small reminders, a smell, a song, a phrase, can instantly pull their mind into old emotional states. Not because they can't move on, but because the brain stored those moments in high resolution. However, going through too much doesn't only create wounds. It creates unusual strengths. They appreciate small stability more than grand success. A quiet evening, a reliable friend, a normal day. These hold real value because they know their absence. They're often incredibly patient with others' struggles. When someone breaks down, they rarely judge. They've been in emotional storms themselves, so they offer space instead of solutions. Their empathy isn't learned from books. It's learned from survival. Over time, many develop what psychologists call post-traumatic growth. Not the idea that suffering is good, but that adaptation builds new abilities, emotional resilience, perspective, and clarity about what truly matters. They waste less time on superficial conflicts because life already showed them real ones. Still, healing for them doesn't look dramatic. It looks subtle, sleeping a little easier, not replaying conversations at night, letting silence feel neutral instead of tense, trusting a good day without waiting for its collapse. And perhaps the most important thing to understand, they don't want to be seen as broken. They want to be seen as someone who adapted, because every coping habit, even the difficult ones, once had a purpose. So when you meet someone who seems guarded but kind, independent yet caring, calm in chaos but restless in peace, you might be looking at a person shaped by too many storms. Their mind didn't choose these patterns randomly. It built them carefully, one experience at a time to make sure they could keep going. And the quiet truth is this: people who've gone through too much aren't always trying to forget their past. Most of the time, they're simply trying to live a present where they no longer need armor, but aren't fully convinced it's safe to take it off yet.